Peace FM.
Ebium.
Peace FM.
You enjoy your number.
Peace FM. 104.3.
Yo.
Good to meet you.
Dr. Bernardo Koboy, a medical doctor. Or sounds a politician and maybe a trim no deputy minister of health. Now was sounds so a mrashe ebedweni Emma Lejokuku. And I Lejokuku na niya. Doc say Lejokuku. Lejokuku. I am a former MP. But still me MP no. Amen. Kwesi nyami nshaw. Kwesi wanu hwam. Kwesi si obesa baby so oyere no ho dia.
One can some man
Doc Vati Aquaba. Boko dear. Man and catch you fire by. But on a patient, you have doctor to find.
Waka in drone 70 Mamincha pharmacy shop no Olives. Freeman.
I'm more pharmacy shop.
Oh, Stoner.
Okay. As a Stoner or pharmacy shop. All kinds of
medicine.
Mr. Mark Freeman, aka Stoner. Good morning, and all the guys at Olives. Keep doing what you do.
Opposite Bogas.
On the Spintex Road.
Me and Robbie are mashed last obis friends and then a monkey shoulder. Then I hope it's as a cosmetist.
It's your munina. Minya Baku PK and Opay Michiao Medasi. Nyami Inshai. Now, Dr. Smart Sup on the Mihuna. Doctor to say.
Go ahead.
Nyamene hene divine selection you know them you go so. Now who was striking me?
Technical university teachers they need strike but you support you know over 200%.
Aye, semba debi.
A common interest only that.
Yes, I'm munyanko imponi na mo support 200% amai. And yamo be kwadia yewu.
Challenge but bibia be fine. Me sure say yeti ya ka say so no. Abaying impenifu stakeholders omuye responsible for the ecosu you know me sure say by now backstage in Komono
omo bubre yi
omuma MP na enye ntem so na yina we are concerned about and they ka say mo fra ka so mutual exams ni adia I mean students impenifu so mutual exams are akoyensin mu ni ecosu nintino we are all concerned.
Well, Kwesi Machion.
Yes, sir.
What's your Koboy yere no bebe bi nti oyere no. Nobody bray ye.
And somewhere here so can we could be the Mekwa not in Tango.
Kwesi akawasemo Koboy.
What in Tango could be the Mekwa now what
Yes, Doc.
We a signal.
I'm a signal.
Just a Mikasa Nebe Kakra. No, just a Miss Sacrano.
I saw Saka. But Doc, who are here, na Eja? O former boss is in the eye of the storm. Sputnik. Increase in COVID-19 cases and also Ewaha. One na minim say COVID we di mo akotra aja eya obema lectures kakra. Na obi be bisa say o former boss into the same common year o man panyin hwe ne kasa o hwe finance minister Kerofoyata kasa o hwe Alexander Panyomak in kasa na titri akase Sheikh Maktoum no or the scanaba into obi bisa is at the end of the matter and no you know increase in COVID-19 cases so far on our buy ja obema education kakra. What's the latest so far net saying?
Chama and I my minda was
that's it.
And then me COVID kakra and now World Youth Day.
And maybe no.
And me was some few near my dama kumasu when it comes to the youth. Bam baby no. And me pipe on say benya dajina ya kanu su kakra.
Okay.
Na once you work COVID memo dear. Mami for opportunity na me nka ho asem kakra. Chama
yes,
before I do that, mami chia doctor, na me chia me senior, me share na che.
Brakwesi.
Send a meeting right opposite or no. Wa catch me say obi yun me kwa. Mami nim shishi. Me share me kasa ni ye. Na me check here no as at 9th of this month. Just some few days ago. No.
Yeah.
The most recent review no. The COVID cases no 6,440 active cases.
6,440
active cases. Now about 2 weeks before, now you were about 6,900. We nearly got to 7,000.
Wow.
And if what draw curve, it looks like plateau. Say the highest point of the peak, you know. Say and some come back to about 7,000. The actually say
Wapim.
Biponosura.
Just wapim.
Wakopim. Nyankopon adom. Nyama ye tutu ye na anamo year. Ebeti me astati abaform. Now the good news I always insist in say virus and quite often so moving from one person to the other is the same. Sebi anamo I see two first na corona started and one now two na ebeboa. Enti me pacho na ye the protocols no aye juma. Welcome. The only big challenge about COVID ni say one of those few area who be say managing stricto sensu say managing reducing risk to zero no obey no now I'm a risk in other areas I call up say o person treat obi for malaria o timi catch say o prevent malaria oda mosquito net oda net mo a enu ma come say bi enkode no ana enu ma ni neighbor hu ntire no but COVID movements and an increasing risk. And if you want to reduce the risk to zero, all you do is to cease movement. Cease just say, don't move out of your house. Don't go to work. Don't go to the stadium. Don't go to a funeral. Don't go. Once you don't go anywhere, the virus stays with you if you have it. But unfortunately, no, once nobody moves, risk, for other areas, ecosro. Me see risk of business collapsing, ecosro. Risk of someone dying from accident, ecosro. Because ambulance driver nankasa no ofie. Risk of food shortage, ecosro. Because nipa na obeko farm mako ejuma no, onu so born ho ban. Risk of transport. Sabio recently, obi say cement bo ecosro pa then ecosro. And one of the companies make catch say, container omu goods, raw materials no. You are increasing the cost of shipping over 3 times.
Yeah.
Why? Because few vessels spend a year because of COVID. And Chinese, Sabio, they've allocated a lot of the containers to themselves. And they say, "What die who's in the Obi buy all born huninti." I must say, cement in there. So, because of this very difficult situation, most countries say the FNO balancing act and individual responsibility. A balancing act, say, Sabio Obeka say, "Utimi call program and a restaurant, but sit outside." Utimi call sorry, but menche or didn't know see menche. On himself, sorry, nankasano risk a crowd. But the more you stay, the longer you stay, sorry, Chairman.
Yes.
The greater your risk of maybe contracting the virus. Work a program or say year 2 hours. The best one would have been that don't go out for the funeral, stay at home. But Obibeka say, if the virus stays with us for the next 5 years, where would you keep your dead then? So balancing act on Maniama are very, very challenging. But my advice to people is say, at your individual level, take responsibility.
Yes, at your individual level.
Say me will party kakara meye in my family to celebrate the goodness of the Lord. Say manya ibia 30 years and 40 years. I'll postpone that one. And know your individual responsibility. You're banning family city. But because Madam for be free Madina, I know be free Lejokuku, I know be free Kumasi Abano, me ni maybe our nanti. Ebi abe pon party no na many yari. So at your individual level, take responsibility. No, I will be see doctor my share kakra. Yen discussing some issues. Me say yen share this joint. Ebi I call no, or say yen call inside me see yen tra abonti. And I'm telling say abonti the risk is what? Lower. So everybody will have to engage in a risk reduction activity. Nobody can have zero risk. In fact, omo ye juma ICU, omo share PPE from omo T to omo 9 crown cases of COVID are recorded amongst them. So point in say Nyankopon ekita just deliberately engage in risk reduction. Your studio, my work pan
Yeah.
Nanso me share mask.
Yeah.
Now at least so that say vaccine me and give me and free getting infection mask no best stop it.
A bit me abo.
So and na make say obia at your level me assure say na kufa do nyanka restaurants closed. Everybody obia won need them yen go school yen go way so that ya no move 1 inch. But we hear no sir na nkora no US omo say suicide cases cause in fact no obia me share catch me say ni baba because of COVID for the past 1 year na omo year virtual learning or see omo parents no omo hwe omo ba na omo no ye mobo akwara na sisa nso onye lively na ni sunsum akọ but omo be school just about a week ago all of a sudden the same student BBI but omo test omo nyina for COVID some international school also the point I'm making say school na kasa jitum say even now kan risk akra dey ewo but the way they reduce the risk is to test for COVID now you test the crown and then say there is zero risk they've only reduced the risk and the chance will be no form but you can even record COVID so
yeah
many Jesus say about some 177,000 vaccines okay. Any one vaccine can be one life saved now all the research about from Israel, Canada, all the countries and vaccine actually say any kind of vaccine you get, once it has been approved, it has a way of protecting you from death. Now, Makawada, vaccines do 3 things, not 1. Vaccines don't only protect you from getting COVID. Should you even get COVID when you've been vaccinated, they save you from severe illness.
Severe. But saying himself so far, Crawford I double vaccinated and so omenya severe.
Exactly.
Ama ebiewu.
Exactly. That come.
And no na ban say.
Exactly. So say me near Gisano can say ebimo anya vaccine. Aye severe amomwewu.
Yeah.
That come ebi asani pano fa chem. Enye COVID times bo na ewa. Ebi onya normal pneumonia ebeti na yeke. Akun.
Yeah.
Yan kai say ansana COVID ba no. Na influenza. The mo fe flu or Europe no. Ekun in fact, in US, it kills an average of I think 70,000 to 100,000 people yearly.
Yeah.
And no kind of vaccine no. So the point is say, as for Sebi, owo die, anka COVID buyer, obi o anka COVID buyer, Sebi, obi free. But because you COVID in no, so or you positive for COVID, no free more. Yet me the share COVID. Sana definition it COVID related death. The other thing is say, if you get 1,000 people, omanya COVID. Na ya wo omwe vaccinated. Maybe you can lose 1 or 2. And you be say oh meaning ba ku bi kra wewu enu ye se bi enfan ka asem because ebi omo an wo pan na you could have lost half of them.
Okay.
It's like I mean in every intervention you know zero observation and yeah what you chase you try to what reduce the risk. Road safety.
Say obe brenners.
Like I mean yes ye wo mo bibia ye brenners. In fact, Fachem.
Me can see you two ase.
Oh, Rakwami, yedi the most sophisticated technologies a ship plane mu. Say Mbuama said the plane tour. Nyakupa do landi. Now so once in a while, ubeti na plane be a problem never. And then she say yes, and don't play mu, and don't na car.
Okay.
So as for we say what idea. Wisdom should tell you say go for the vaccine if you have the opportunity because some statistics now no. You the friend outlier just say we the intense o the intense ko ye juma ohun be chiro. Now one thing so I'm very happy about is say obi say o doctor ya te say Johnson & Johnson you know you see protection you know 65% and this say Pfizer the na 95%. Em can say na 65 then I say oh now 65.
Because 35 be one chain.
Exactly 65 no bro friend weighted average. Yeah, trial. Yeah, the incorporate say 5-10,000 yeah trial. Na I say, "Odi omu nyina abomo average number 65." But Obi was out trial no more 90% protection.
Yeah.
Obi ja 98%. Obi so nya 45. Ebia wo na obenya 90% from that Johnson & Johnson. So, Ghana Health Service, Eddie, some municipalities, districts are a hona ye no, sebi your friend hotspot, ewo hopa. Repacho sebi o only some municipality now. Membreki barrier.
But you see, I start here on Monday.
In fact, Accra you start here in some places. Normally, beginning to me here, because of few logistical and settling. But Ghana service is good with deployment. Dr. Chianoni, Dr. Kuma Bajimu.
Na baby I want to set mon country.
In fact, Oman listed the districts. The entire, I don't know whether it's strategic. Sometimes only list there no be for bus. Free alcohol. Because the quantity no overwhelming. No. Places are there kono. The municipality has a way of telling the community say vulnerable people no they have ways to get them. Remember, still is vulnerable. COVID by your experience at chair say diabetes onya COVID one shall na the same aba into omo na target is say the most at risk. Omo hypertension no ye din obi a wire heart surgery obi a wire kidney surgery obi o ye sickler obi a sebi or some brofo freno immune disease ebi mo ebi your friend is saying obi wo immune disease me person me body but ye kita records no saa nipa no nyinaa no ye calls to them say mumbra na mmewo obi wo a or ye sickler or ye penyin onya 60 years but because or ye sickler no ono so most as well. Look me one group so mo at risk by obese people omo so obi a oso no mo ye du obi wo also on footsteps or footsteps temper this or breaking home bebre saa nipa no look me onya COVID normally the risk of severe illness is high.
Yeah.
So slim ones no wo a unso no aka say no mean say wo omo unso ana mfimfin but at least obi so otimi ho na obi wo a oba o studio a this nyina ya movie a content kakra those ones are obvious. Finally no mami can say with my former boss the mechanic say oh sure call before the committee no sebi wan ko ye tintiniti ana yes ana moka no tintiniti omo muti ase say some of the steps issues some reason no wa form ho na giving the opportunity no sebi onye the same thing na o sure obi yes ape normally no I say wa ko wo enemy no abeto line mu wa no aka che say o I mean wa surrender. So we say now fire AK-47 na no cry you and even some more mra be che say o onya o enemy wo lanza man nsu anopa na nya botema no. All I'll say is that as for Messi I know say obviously if I get the same opportunity me yes Abima the fellow is virtually telling you that show Messi. I know Messi comes from heaven and with the president so far we see Messi at play. How long it will last, all is in God's hands. Now, my own say Ghana for be the Messi no na ekano. Just say omo ye kra. We are all not the same. The democratic experiment, it allows for different shades of opinion. And I respect the opinion of all. But in all this, the immediate really say lessons are important. We all have to learn. Say na Malcolm X kind. When you see your either friend or enemy fall.
When you see a man down.
Down. You don't start laughing.
Don't rejoice.
In fact, you don't have to rejoice. You have to reflect. And you don't have to mock. You rather have to find a way of sharing the story so that together we'll be better people going into the future. That's wrap up.
Dr. Sapon.
Chairman General.
Any comments?
Chairman, that's it. Na machebu siafu ajimre tie ye na no pay. Nipa miensa bi first of all ye Director General National Sports Authority. Menua Chumesi Prof anopay ose menchia umano.
So
Na mabo reappointed Kokrokoo CEO wa ofa unia penny Joseph Boahin Edu.
Yeah, membra penny papa
sa mabo na baso se niti ayeye no anya ade. O deserve in my view osomye sompa in the first term onyaye no. Nti obi anso ye adwuma pa ya ma obi ka homa oye. Wate wasafo anim. Nti no wasa Memphis East for this year Joseph Boahin Edu anopai yebo abaso. Na machia Vice Chancellor ni Kumasi Technical University adwuma ifo nyina na brakwa me enchia kese pa na free Kumasi de bro na no pay me ba ha che kakra wa wani tia
ache pa
yeso ti fa kwa na to ade so nti edane ye ho kakra bi na nyame adomode yakodi aba yɛkyia obiara da busuafoɔ nso ase me baeɛ nso akyiri bɔkɔɔ na Rakwame COVID Dr. Minia Okoboy aka bibia na kakra me pese me kaka ho ne se yesua no na nneɛma baako mienu bi ho no mu a ɛsɛ yehu na o maame aso nsa atetew akyerɛw yɛsɛ menye sɛ yefi ha yɛsɛ yenye sɛ ni ade ebedu baabi no sɛ o maame wɔ ho mpa obegyae wo obema some freedom kakra na wahwɛ sɛ nea wasua firi fie no o de yɛ adwuma ana enti yes aban da so wɔ hɔ enso ye nyina ye nim sɛ nea beginning ahofam ahokeka ne ade ba ye ne ade just to make us know say saa ade foforo na aba no sei na ne so ne ban tie oyesi a ne benya oyesi a ne nya den kyekere bibia enti sɛ du baabi na sɛ ahoɔden a na ɛhyɛ saa campaign nimu no ɛkɔ fam mpa ɛnkyerɛ sɛ me no Brakwam yen Lucy guard at all ni ayesua no ɛna ɛsɛ yɛn so yɛde yɛ adwuma enti enkosi da bɛn na de bia gye sɛ Dr. Okoboy mu aba around ana police atiesi krom sɛ mo nhyɛ mask ana mo ntete mu kakra agro bi sɛ nneɛma bi ehu hia bi enkosi da bɛn na yɛbɛgyae saa nneɛma ni nyina yɛ for the sake of COVID still no ano nkrofo kyia nsɛm aso mafa no normal ni ade so ya ka I think say edu baabi a ɛsɛ obi a wo mpanyin fie so at least 18 to till you live
18 and above.
So accept the responsibility say yen chere wa there forever ebedu baby you will be allowed to also demonstrate what you have learned enti no media futu na medema etiefo say me ne Dr. Yadwin individual responsibility baby edu no wo ko share politics e chikoye na do eyi we nsuo we na ye nya samna ho no please you are not being individually responsible to your adi. Ni awate na wasua free mpanimfo ho free mra COVID ba ye bebre despite media peace FM for bebre ebraso se on so di adwuma ebraso so di adwuma na watwetwa nema bi so se na be ya in your own interest. Na the effect of COVID ne baby ababedu no se ya nhwe na ya mfa nema serious a ebetimi kra ye worse o.
Yeah.
Ebetimi aye worse into no yese nema bo okosoro na Bernard ka say import adi me container bi me yese madam for bi into adi share container time na yen decide yen na container ne boy $5,300 and you decide so okay fine we the kakraba ebetimi ato adi enti no ohwehwe saa nema ne bi ne yenhwe ohwehwe saa nema ne bi yese a free $5,300 cost $6,800
yeah
ye bookie mumpe bi ma ye chese nya kra wunya bi ye nya bi no na ye $7,800 can you imagine all within a space of about 1.5 months
the real effect of COVID
yes chese wunya bi kra mpo na wa ye nti all items are ebe free baby aba ne ade nya likely say ebo no ebe kokoso eno ka ho na me de fine manage say ye ko hwehwe dem ne ade ye pia sesi e wo hwe composite index for economic activities as last year around May June nanka ya about 10 see number 30 point something you see nipa pie kakra ye pie no na ye adwuma ye kɔ ne ye ba no dia yesua ya kyerɛ ya ka ba COVID Rakwame mumi emfanya adwuma na nye de bia no bi dia ba na police ba be gina kroma sana ya ye ne ye minia penny me wo fajima menu Brakwame
yeah
ni pursue miensa me usually asem say me hwe me nim so much after all say or senior antino me friend but o hwe no from afar the first group of people I am from conceptualist no omoya na they judge right, they think this is right because it maximizes goodness. Aya na omu definition of what is right no. And you know, so feel say let's ban 1 or 2 rules or just or be in the name of maximizing goodness. Such people are there. They are ethical people. Only that omu definition of what is right is that thing must maximize goodness, even if you ban 1 or 2 rules. Yeah. Madam Fubineka, Dr. Foucault, And I will say if you follow all the rules, you may die early.
If you follow all the rules, you may die
early. I'm not advocating for abuse of rules at all. I will never do that. But and I make us say at a certain point they think let's focus on maximizing goodness, even if we may sacrifice. I don't want to believe, and I say me to me as I say, Honorable Jimamenu said at that point that was his view. But Kakra me say he might have acted not with any bad intention or malice or anything. Say as a chartered accountant, minim ebia despite group accountant in Kwana onye sikeni ho bibia sikeni ho accountant. No,
I can't tell you this guy.
Bibia. In fact, ebia jama despite media in Kwana accountant. So now otimi ye I mean never be far for the initial one fan one pay critical attention, but fine, maybe it was to maximize goodness at that time because now you hear vaccine and they cry you can say you hear be near day. Now master say if it is fatigue, matter say or taking some leave. If it is fatigue, I think he deserves some leave. And yes Minister of State at a sensitive position like health, master say at any point in time only well composed. On relax it, on pay will be men. Sometimes when you are stressed and you have technical people around you, they can help you think through some of the things, even if it will take a minute to do that. Now, near Sydney, being CBO, may bo minority group na omu a champion is a pro biabaso.
Yeah.
Miniam inta kando nomine omu maka. That is, in my view, responsible opposition.
Okay.
Omu more of such we pray. Bibia ekosubia na nya to come and friends and vilify obi and nya serie and nya den I think say ochina bi no minister foforo ewo e fine no under that situation na obekai ni NASC na wa act in a more improved way saying ya Miami of Ajimamenu ye ti me bo mabaso kwabna minta kando I think okujato nomne 1 or 2 bia omuka ho a omuma sa pro bia possible na mabo committee nso abaso wo hwe omu recommendation no a they didn't personalize it because something that can happen anywhere into omu ye ne say ebeye adisuade for the future into omu ye general recommendations, and I think they were quite friendly with the way they chose their recommendations line. So I best serve a more futuristic purpose than a near say Ajmamen and Asamabana Adi. Ni leave no on taking ye. Bakami on yena home ye pa. That's what she fatigue being so assertina. Or money appointing authority amanye. Na obeje extended leave who says so. Yeah, because I mean fatigue wo I thought there be a pen wo pass obe adwuma so na what I say. I mean beyond some age na those times Honorable Jimamenu deputy minister Kasa Wampeni for person there hey unya ne saa all the time. Nature sometimes would retard some of the into no kakra meka ho no ne abeya ye ba be wo inso de I think say papa at any time 100,000 kwan ebenya 50,000 kwan ebenya
na ye work
senior doctor kan ye no one vaccine can be one lifesaver. And more of such again we pray.
May that say many questions the home come on no but question Ebiana in the last few days so different things have come up. First of all the COVID cases and Ajimamenu, you seem to have a very empathetic softer man meaning say assassin and some AP no.
Pacho
okay.
Na pese mi tu mendam fo ni minu anum bi no afo kakra.
Okay.
Doctor Pacho so beti doctor for me no so beti okay pa. Aya nsem ni bi wo nkrofo kan mo doctor Jimamenu kra.
Ade.
Mo ano. me anɔpɛ me baa me hu topics no bisa wɔn san me ka me si o wei aka abrɛ me mpɛ sɛ mɛsan ati mu biem na sɛ woka sɛ ebinom wɔ hɔ a wɔn deɛ you know they want to promote good they don't want to stick to rules na there you are inviting us to come in again and make comments yes I don't see how you can take such a public position only Michelle yes if you do that now eventually you invite people to comment and the more people comment and examine the issues no the more detrimental it is for the person you appear to be defending the munja side no and what Dr. Jimande no
general advice
advice me person me timu ye pa bi omo esa mo mo ano o masa asemo aye ken anya first time be esi pan ni o se sia ye tie kasai enko for that jail they've been in jail 2 years and more they are still in jail their health condition has deteriorated in prison and so for procurement breaches it is a who better now what about the people in jail what is the moral authority for keeping people in jail for the same thing me maka masakwami obi ni wiase amfonso ni so me ti amfonso me so ebia media na nyamba odnya meka it is a media ba na mpese yade ya me no saa so na so bi so dia ba se yade ya no and so we are all human beings and until now, obi say, I don't know, me call soft on the man and so on. I'm not going soft on him, I'm going soft on everybody. Because prison, you can't freeze out, massa. Prison, and you can't freeze out. Into obi diaba, obi so dia dam kwanso, but now they come asem. Just justifications because at all. So see how you take them who can say. Dr. Stephen opinion or court. What is the moral justification for keeping him in prison and keeping others free?
Opponent is not in prison.
Or court, Sana Maker, or court. So what's the moral justification? Ain't he a better than or Kwame, a better than
Warrior Fonsa.
Warrior Fonsa no was show there. Or say, warrior Fonsa now hold the Abia who said, would you near for no essay?
Abia can idea say more.
Chama. It's some na ekeke kan in that can. Na yem pe kwan a media ni hia me ni say Ghana man sika enjira ana say nsay. Sanso how that Ghana man so no esuyi pa ye hia sika. Ye hia kadie say na be mpuntuduma mama for ho aha. That's the perspective that I come from. You understand? And okay, me buy abo mo dia kan de bon krata ni bebre asem ya ye kan ahu abrante bia mi bunu pa onu so century ni atrosem bia fa ho kwame page 7 of Daily Graphic.
Page 7 Daily Graphic.
Enumeration.
Oh yeah.
He settles the issue clearly. Onya vicious on person bi obi betu afiase ni ade. But what can someone here say a canina? What can the pepper? Intimate enumeration idea what troll and opinion. Minibia medica. You know, I mean, it's incredible. I mean, honesty, only hatred for anybody. Just honesty and analysis. Page 7. Graphic in there.
Hashtag fix Mr. Kennedy.
Kind of very clear. Massa. Yeah, COVID-7. Like a many why and Dr. Kuboy Abeka COVID-7, Miss Mbabe Kebi. Medical school in COVID.
Now, at this rate, Nanyadi Abekobi.
Oh, but I'm not having a medical school 7 years. I didn't call him COVID. Me will be a panida. Chloroquine crabbing prescribed will be done. I can't COVID. I'm Miss Mabana. But I didn't understand. I call him, say, and yet. Public health issue nko akoya nyoma bebre anu ntina miss between kebi onam say any public health issue pe ene panie wo nko nyoma bebre ka ho na edikan pa no obiara nde obetuna si ne bo aka so obetuna predict covid say na de beko even in the next 1 week, no truthful. Because it is ahead of us. All I'm saying, it's ahead of human beings. I mean, it's another brazier. Young Dan Green say kebetimi. So that's a major factor in our discussion and calculations. Yaka say in Delta variant ni yaka hosemo. 3 days ago and 4 days ago, we can 2 new variants. Delta ni 2 new variants. 2 new variants here by according to scientists no. Scientists no. One book vaccination. Vaccination for. That's a new development. A new development which has to be factored in. Because a new variant to be about what vaccinate you and for there. Now you doing pempenso be a hukakra. In the predictions near there no edding kakra. We'll try to predict, but edding because of the nature of the virus and so on. I know it decan. Openi nyamidi to so ne say. Vaccination can be 100,000 something. You do she. It's sufficient. It's not sufficient. You do she. You do she. You have a double, triple crowd master. You do she. Because the threshold for achieving herd immunity. In Yandu. Now, I know you are having.
That is a 20 million.
To the extent that Ubi a canoe crack, Kaina Kebetiasi, and Canoe Crintin and Tiasi. O mine is sick as some Fakwa, and Namun Yasam Kitwell.
Yeah.
And that is the reason why we are struggling. Sikasam Koye. We are struggling. Now, me imagine no, emphasizing can't happen. Kaina names of mine is sick as some Koye. Budget deficit. Nini Kika who you boswa. Na yenya COVID at this time. Can you maybe and can you are see trustle?
Deciding.
MP loans for cash.
$28 million.
In a COVID situation. How do you have that? Article 71 emoluments. Increase salaries. Some to the extent of 74%. How sensible is that in a COVID situation? On him channel. Intimacy say a new man shut down ye. Nanam Santi, we should have taken some extraordinary measures. I'm not seeing those extraordinary measures. And that is part of my problem on him channel. And okay, Namin Chadi, Ghana Medical Association, Masa Kasabi. Masa Kasabi. Now, Debbie Masa, we can say, see a Tia Ghana Medical Association, can you only see a do sample pension? And then, Omakasa, I had the Democrat to be a friend of the Republic, page 9. The General Secretary of Ghana Medical Association, Akasa, about the quick deployment of vaccines. Quick deployment, urgent deployment. Sharp. On them channel. Na yentie na superm. Because yentie na superm ebebua yenyinara. Masa me no man bi o ha mintimi ntiase o. Kwame.
Yes.
That here. They Cuba omo develop 2 vaccines.
But you accept worldwide there.
Oh, they are using it. And Cuba, when it comes to vaccines now, it has a long history. I mean, the credibility is very huge and so on. But some American, it's in you, Kwame. Cuba for develop vaccines. But even to administer those vaccines to the Cuban people, are quite into
Are they?
Because of sanctions.
So many needles.
Exactly. Syringes now.
Syringes rather, yeah.
One more vaccine. In Ghana, you're here. That's why they carry Kokrokoo. Mumu here we, Monday. Yes, we here we, Mufa my. But and I'm a strawberry idea say you, America for the idea say you, yes, sir. And yet you. That's why keeping you know. at conditions are very, very, very favorable. If we are ready to stand up to the Western countries, especially to the United States of America now, we can move a long way. It's even possible to go there and say, Mumbai manufacture organ, they will come. You understand? But who ya na wo yem panifo mu nti ne ade no na etete ha na enoma ejinsam and so on. Masa Dr. Kobo had ya make say me hema no yi because me kan man kan ya wanya ade a wo be ye no na enumguase na eba. But many Dr. Fakasa Dr. Fua almost a being sent on our being me do akasa. Dr. wa come in kasa or Red Hospital. Now, some ways to cry, I'm the Kwame Makani them happen. I'm the doctor no cry, but them have a kind of pain.
Yeah.
Me kaba.
Okay.
Also, one of the problems they have is the fact that they don't have a separate outpatients department for COVID for COVID cases. And there's a doctor from Ridge Hospital. Masa, ya ka besinde. Still, nothing. Now, outpatients department, no? What does it take to create an outpatients department dedicated to COVID cases? Dr. Kobo, tent. Kwame, tent. And here's what basic done. And then, who could switch a Japan Zoom Lion? Now, per tent in several more tent in but Kokrokoo is sufficient for creating that dedicated outpatients department. Up to now. Yeah. And then the workers are making kind of why? I try and say the medical facilities are being outstretched. They are being outstretched.
More like overstretched.
That's overstretched. That's Kwame. Yeah, would me bua me power.
Say Jamie Brappen, you know.
Oh yeah,
yes.
Dr. Kobo Kasano, my statistics 6,000. Yeah, the next statistics they did because first of all, statistics were generated.
Yeah.
And we were no more catch now you fire soon. The real situation are the stories in the communities. Miti hai. Anu ankwa mi nimpa be edu a omonya COVID. Anu ankwa.
Omonya na enra.
Debbie,
okay.
Omonya. Better, and it is frightening. The national statistics may say 6,000. That 6,000 doesn't make the kind of impact that people we know in the communities are Omonya Bino makes on us. And we can play the statistical game, but the panic in the community is based on the fact they say Obia ni mobia wanyabi. Obia nim obia wawu as a result of COVID. Obia nim sania unya COVID sania yawo fa. Mahu ababa wabia wanya bia.
Crazy.
And some kitwa. The struggle. I mean, Dr. Kobo, the struggle to survive. So last minute, bra omo bre. Ude ni doctor for nkasa. Ude hu video ni bia obe hu ni America no. Enye yare kitwa yare fu ekunipa eprepre nipa adwen. In fact, ni ayati kra no say o se wunya kra na say yare no kokra hu susanso no may live with you for the rest of your life. Eti ye balance ye ka cases of recovery. What does that mean? What are the other consequences for those who have recovered for the rest of their lives? First, you say a respiratory disease. Dr. Folang said, and say, not just a respiratory disease. And that it can attack most vital organs of the body. One year, Casabro, Furniture, in America. It's usually. Now, someone in pessimistic and say, oh, yes, I catch a Muntimu Concoyo. Hey, and Busumi say, Chamuka for what? Yes, shut down. Ya mu ne amamu privileges se mundi anim ne yendi ko se ne be ya ibenya pomuden ozo ne asa oye bia maka cho tibi kwakoda o kwakoda hefa who born you
born dog
who born you self On himself. Is that something Jaka? Now, come would you be dear dance here, mammy? A demha. That be me, bah, Massima me can say. As I said, Ghana man for them. You boom. Because in this situation, you need a certain level of panic for people to adhere to protocols and so on. Now, so there be a balance. You can say, "Oh, yeah, dear pa, yeah, quote, yeah, dear, dear, no crowd, brass in here, dear." What is the encouragement for people to follow protocols and so on? You understand? Mm-hmm. So we have either done well, or the situation is still bad, and I think that the situation is bad.
It is.
Again, it's happened in Nigeria, it's happened in many other places. I'm saying 2 days ago, it happened in Iran. A more developed method here of calculating, the actual numbers of people who have died from COVID. Now, the beer uses some method, it turns out to say the actual number of people who have died, sometimes it's 10, 20 times more than what has been officially declared. I'm sure Dr. Kokrokoo is aware of that method. You understand? He said, the Yususa method, what is it going to tell us about the number of deaths?
So you bring more numbers.
More numbers.
Now, so I can say at the end of the baby, reports will not always be accurate.
But especially when you have, the method I think is called the exact death method. Doc, exact death method. The figures which come out sometimes are 10 times more than the officially declared figures. In fact, in Iran, when we use this method, the figure which came out was 100% more than the officially declared method. That's a huge difference. It's not a difference of 3% and not 2%. You're talking 100%, 200%, 300%. These are significant variations from the official figures. And so on. I think, but who's be sure about and we meet the past and the Bahano Dr. Kuba or her, if you're between a church and the source of panic, Kwame, I'm saying, brother, me buy and me can say some, and my crowd can say you are aware of it.
Yeah.
The major source of panic in the community, a BB by say flu. Doctor, I'm sure you are aware. Flu. A bit me enough flu in 3 weeks. It has all the symptoms I see covered. No, it will be no. On them channel. It in Kofo Bibre or Onya Saflu ni be an kumatu. Minim Kofo Bibre, a woman flu ni be a mukumatua. Enya Sam Kitwa. Me Minabi, Minya Saflu ni be. Masa, a count to who are Nasam Kitwa. Me, a couldn't pepper so be not to me Casa. I couldn't talk. Me a COVID test 3. Me na a negative. On them channel. Na minim Kofo Bibre, almost when Nasaflu ni be. Nasma Mekan say, in the circumstances of the pandemic and so on, isn't it time for health authorities to also start public education about this very strange flu now about?
What if Omunya Shishamuye?
Oh, Kakrane or Honukraudia, Omumbra Mekan, we are aware says flu yaba. The symptoms will be the same, but a near COVID. You understand? And that will be so when you saw symptoms, this is what you have to do and so on. They have to announce a protocol for us. Now this abudi sano MYA because you are all groping in the dark. I mean the total panic. And we are branching here. We need come on phone so. And so when you start flu maybe. Kwame.
Yes.
We're 12 in the Kokrokoo hotel. 3 weeks in. But Chin hospitals are happy or bread. You understand? So yeah, actually can't be of fast soa a bebuano na ya. Coming in is a cover panic. It is a flu now, but it's important now to start some measure of public education on that flu in addition to the pandemic. Master no. Finish.
Let's move the discussion forward. 16 minutes past 10, Peace 104.3, Kokrokoo, Jimmy Dienunie, Kwesi Pratt and Amotene in Kano, Studio Num Awa Hasso, Dr. Smart Sapon, Senior Research Fellow and Lecturer at Kumasi Technical University, and Dr. Bernard Okoboy, former Deputy Minister of Health, former Member of Parliament, Lejo Kuku, and Mote Omonkase, and Yomochuchin Komom, Yababa, Nyabe, heard the final comments, Yababa, FIU Tag, and any other business. But this one says, please ask Dr. Smart Sapon for me whether he also supports 200% the positive defiance stance of UTAG, i.e., the refusal to obey the court orders asking them to go back to work. Kwadwo Oswe Chow Able Kuma. And then, COVID is very dangerous and serious. However, it appears more people have died through road accidents from the beginning of the year. Won't a lot more lives be saved if half of the attention being given to COVID is also given to the fight against road crashes? APJ in Sunyai, you have a point there. And then Ajima Menu's posture doesn't warrant forgiveness from Ghanaians. He is not a medical doctor. Okoboy is a reserve player. Let Okoboy continue from there. Kwadwo Dupako. Well, I'm not the appointing authority, and so I leave it there. And then Master Planner Junior Kintampo says, Chairman General, what amazes is that all our members of parliament took the COVID-19 vaccines without questioning whether I had parliamentary approval or not. Today, we, the ordinary citizens, have not been vaccinated, and you are talking parliamentary approval. No, well, there are two different things, Master Planner. Let's leave it there for now. Maybe one day you'll understand. Though the arrival of the vaccines is good, the most important thing is to observe the protocols very well, and government must also enforce the COVID laws. Martin Jan in Edreso Dome Abra. Chairman General, the issue between UTAG and government is sad. I plead with Ghana Labour Commission to listen to UTAG. Ankuma Foster Achim Ayiribi. Okay. Uncle Kwesi Pratt, you know that the Ajima Menu did not cause financial loss to the state. Well, Kwesi Pratt has said that already. And let me place on record, say, Kwesi was one of the first people at Obekan has said, and your course, you know, into your fan channel. But I no pay or say, Mamia Yanni to send ya, and yeshi, and say yeshi, dear. Now, Omo de Fiasina, almost Sebi, almost be at the same procurement breaches in na Yanni thing. Obisimi Mr. Okoboy, Doc, you say educate us quickly. Can you take 2 separate vaccines? Some people have taken the first shot of AstraZeneca, awaiting the second dose. Now, this one, Johnson & Johnson. Some people beat me, Aquanantim. Can you take 2 separate doses? Okay, boy, over to you and Sanamako, Dr. Saponso.
Charger, can you?
Wait me out for 2 separate. Yeah.
Is it advisable?
Yeah, okay, is it advisable?
Can you? Is it advisable?
Yeah. Yes.
Because the principle is that if you take a third one, it's not going to say cause harm, but the benefits is very limited. There's only a home for so be brave. It's any idea here say over. Yes, but Omo AstraZeneca first shot no. Omo can Johnson & Johnson we home. Omo the ebe AstraZeneca na the amount. Into Omo eba Johnson & Johnson omo nkofo mu wo baku omo wo vaccine bia. Na can say Johnson & Johnson only one shot, 1 dose vaccine. Into amount baku a where we have a card say you are covered.
Into your advice that they shouldn't be mixing vaccines.
No, they should not.
Okay.
They should not.
Well, there's the advice from the doctor. Dr. Sapon. With 200% support T plus other methods. Say, baby, what do we do? But in the meantime, Kumasi Technical University, more baby on Forum on Unemployment and Employability. That's a good teacher for them, and only a day.
Yeah, National Forum on Employment and Employability. Yeah, share 4 stakeholders are omuye key players in employment. Central government and only the roles I say or play and only the womb. Yeah, yaba education and training. Education, formal training, TVET, NESAFO, Nina play very key role in this, the issue of employment. And captains of industry, serving random private sector for also a very key role to play in the issue of employment and also unemployment. If we are yaba the prospective job seeker, who no also pay juma na so chinebi, also ba pay juma ni bino, also o chefa kese power the national issue of unemployment nim. If we are engumen, say me no di home komo pay labor market entry requirements in Ghana. Ya to ebo ase ayen hwehwemu wadaro mamia na media enim ya share jobs that were advertised na what were nema no mu hwehwe ni ade a ye befa so de ada sa humaye de ni abomu nkomo nso kakra ya to yensa afre Asante Mantem regional minister wa unuabema Simon Osemensa say on fa the new nyam metai media nachi University Vice Chancellor Professor Nana Osei Chang and the chairman for the day. Akasa for no be mienu. Me na me lead research and make asa bako.
Okay.
Na me lawyer Justin Kodua Frempong. Ono so no share Youth Employment Agency so. Ono so ede na no December tuja. Despite media partners wa unia Samson Kwame Nyameche.
Hey, chef
near there. So far they've been very, very supportive. Nyame Adoma program nankasa beba so next week Wednesday. Ukwede ye nimi 18th of August. We are 2 p.m.
What's the way?
Yeah, Great Hall, Kumasi Technical University. Great Hall, Kumasi Technical University. No, ejuma sem de chairman akoye obi asem. Na ye betu ye bo asia doso mu ye issue communicate to relevant stakeholders. Na yahwe going forward senior yebetimi de enyuma sem ne ejuma eni ho ne wo ho prospective job seekers ne kra ne hia metitru no because sabe obi mie na ejuma ema onfa anything at all you think is in your mind to come there oba na begu na ejuma Ghana yenko yenim nyina bi ye to da bia enkofo a ye fo ejuma mu no ofo say wa ma obi opportunity o me ejuma na kakra enko no na busuafo ano ono wura mu no na afei akoya de foforo kra wanhwe ya na oba behwe mu matwe adwuma na se kra na se wagu no enti we will spend time on these 4 key stakeholders: central government, captains of industry, education and training. Yenso ye hu won bi pa the graduates we churn out and the kind of training we offer. Now for prospective job seeker, one we better discuss findings no later over there, but one finding and person me do tuja on your show advertised jobs no baby ana obebre here nipa woni baby na here nipa. It will surprise you to know say Chairman General,
yes,
out of the 100% in fact advertised jobs that came 100% no 38% and chere baby omu job station no, it means you can be posted anywhere. Na omu specify say here nipa we bia adino by region no Greater Accra nkwanya 40.5.
Wow.
Miyama sentiment 5%. Internet say distribution of job stations no near there. A big problem.
Imbalance won pa.
Imbalance kesiye pa. Na the point to note is say Greater Accra region are fortunate with 40.5% of job openings of the total job openings no. Ahakra ye gusu soon unemployment na the other regions in Sway 5%, OT 0%, Savannah 0%.
Wow.
For the period of the data collection. Into a serious issue, Mestre say, the month of August, the Kumasi Technical University, I say discuss jobs, employment, unemployment, all those issues. One other challenge is the estimation of who is actually unemployed, because it will be on ma or structurally unemployed and also voluntarily unemployed. All these issues, I say discussed that yetimi issue proper communicate to guide the best guide the subject matter employment near there. And no na ebedi hu juma nyame adman next week. Ya to nsafre obi in fact COVID intimi manu in a number santino. Madam despite media ebeboa ma obi a went me be aswate. A program so some of the books, copies of the books available.
Okay.
For those who are interested, umbetimi akainti no. Ubi sa ya na ne ekoso no.
Okay, until Tuesday by all means never.
Wednesday Brakwame.
Or Wednesday rather.
Yes, 18th
of August.
Area 2 p.m.
Okay.
Ewo Kumasi Technical University. Great Hall.
Momoni Ejuma.
Yeah, that's about
Answer now, Beba strike. No, so no, Sasa say, I am aware there's behind the scenes negotiations and understanding, and very soon the issue will be resolved. The Labour Commission just needs to move away from its old tricks of illegal strike, which is outmoded at birth. Government is committed to the issues on the table, and I'm sure a compromise is near. On the issue of the flu, Kwesi Pratt has talked about, it may be too hasty to make any pronouncements as at now, but let us study it carefully, as that can lead to other people having actual COVID symptoms and might think it's also a flu and not COVID. Sasa, thanks for your thoughts. Right. Open, meet you.
Brakabe, I'm say Sasa Akanina, NLC, National Labour Commission for Nayana Muma, Assembly Nina Hosa. Of course, the Castiana ya by because I am now etimi edu baby can assembly be akuduni. Do implementation no. Whilst in other sectors of governance, Article 71, then they won't say na committee. No, they know the time they are supposed to sit. They sit, and Umunyama and tentem na yaba. Even a year agreement I had the hokra na ya say do the implementation na. MP no, just say ono wasa ko kaya ban. Ha na nkaya nimpo de sebe nkanya hwe o bua no ma na aye ne so ye but okay ni wie nso a na hwe nhyɛ da free mu ma. Oh, this current discussion na kwese jama asem foforo bi so anya asem foforo 8-year-old asem na egu so ayeka so enti no ye besre aban chefe wo mu se ye nyina ye tenase na ye agree on something aban de nsa hyase you tag the sashase enyumako bia onu mu be ko agreement Ghana Medical Association then omutimi reach agreements aya aban enye proactive in the implementation of ayi bebia jinasi ayi nyina ayi besie no na enye se ebrene du se etu ho anamo no na afi aban ya o meka hwe nkyerɛw okokai ne so ana akose akoye yi na asɛm ba na National Labour Commission so a wona oye temgyinafo eka enyumayefo asɛm so ye notify so aban entimi anini bɔhyɛ so ka bibi fa ho wanka ye process aban anka hwe anfa ho by this time ye tie atua na say ye co strike eno so onya ho hwe na strike ni nya ba so wi ase illegal say na test abako kan illegal na court nso aye two sides of the thing ultimately the one side pen a court you tag en kwa court na government now we are immune from punishment and now from the intino NLC no enhwe na own position ho well sabe we entem ginafo a enye so ma one party feel say jamon nkwa na wani sano that is becoming too much of an issue with NLC ubisa enyumaku bia natfo na gratin fa which is as enyumaku ni nyina were the same perception about the NLC omo yaje onokwa amomo ho nti ye besere omo nsesa saa suban no as for the current situation and court asema akodu no de that's why benye NLC nkwa na nim court kwan na mra no nso no it is not to say wow court kan na wona wasem ye de bi nti no I mean we be we kra nya university achercherefo I get surprised when sometimes ebi mo feel say jama ehunhun bi wo ho no mu a obia na etimidi hunhun debi enye say NLCD kan wo court nti no asema na bibi na ye me da wo mu ne say me nim very well say ye ti ha ye ka say backroom say na mdika kan first no nkomo bi koso a we want to assure our students say I think there will be finality to this adi but the advice kese pa de bra kwa me nkoma NLC for no say omo ya je ono kwa amom ho.
Okay. Dr. Smart Sapon of Kumasi Technical Institute, Technical University, or CN2 NLC for. But opinion be a friend Kwame Jan, me sure so be a what them high be watching dinda lawyer Kwame Jan. Or say Kwame, I've been teaching law in Legon for 22 years. My students are ministers, judges, including Supreme Court and Court of Appeal. As for High Court judges, you can't count the numbers. Kwame, my students are everywhere. Most of us teachers were the best students in our year groups. So what happened? I am a member of UTAG. My electricity allowance per month is 15 cedis and 14 pesos. There you go.
Welcome, man. No crow. We can't come into me facelift right now.
Kasi pratas. La kwami jama channel pay. Kwasi, your comments on YouTube.
Kwami mi hu na cho.
Pa mi kwami hu na che. O this send me kwa na ngwa.
Mi kwami ja chepa mi be busumi sin okrani.
Oh, we didn't see. Me hu be brafi. I haven't seen him more than a year.
Anyway.
And not your 15 CDs and 14 pesos.
Master Kwame.
Brag Kwesi.
Let me say, any lectures a cost strike na ye nwa o. So lectures cost strike there. Obi a wuni mu dia wo hwe fom bia no. Enye nwa say lectures cost strike. Na ye nwa say o mu pe na cost strike. Yes, Master, Obi had the same situation. Sir, Ghana for see no Ghana for ye amwa for pa. Amwa dia Ghana for ye no.
Are they?
Na shakwatia nipa ji wo kromu ha. Ah, wo mutumi etra kromu ha.
O memu ha.
Wo kromu ha suka hu. Memu ha ni kromu ha ina ni na afa.
Iyo.
Ahunam che. Ah, wo mutumi tra me kasa na kwa me o kan no memu ha. Bosom
Peace FM.
No move. Yes, minimum brand here be a bosom is CD. 300 the edition inside. Oh, yere woba.
We are either thieves or magicians.
Ne yere ni nyaduma. Otua school fees. Otua light bill.
Pak.
Enti enya won was a brand here. Last year, one this year,
on we
the 3 year next year's one. As 300 cities a month more. I don't know. I didn't know. Not that lectures are on strike. Minim penny power. We did 53 years. Bosom is one. You can't share inside him 500 cities. Or yere or ba or nana. Near the 500 cities are shining inside. Intermediate. One more Cassatia lectures in the Eden. One more year. Nani Abbey and ne Cassatia and I said, dear Juma. A chapa. And in church, remuni a dinner. I said, ye dear Juma Sunday, Bayer in a better once he said, hey.
Just say Casadenia Kokrokoo.
Oh, Kwame, what can come up? You say, you understand, and you remember court.
Who fears court?
Fanny court, Master, found court. Now the one court, I caught to see ancient lectures. The achievement Kuguma investors know how would they run. It is not a feasible option, it's not a sensible option. So I caught to some normal fun to chain. And then no money away. On himself.
Yeah.
Now, Master, lectures on Nipa. We Nipa to say, we Nipa to say teacher for, or we Nipa to say driver for, near dinner. They say, we na person who mind be tumpum, because some man tumpum, be beka inara. Near Barney say, Omu de Mohinia and J. What I couldn't pepper so be a after Omu de Mohinia on it. Na me beka sambi okwa na team yi
Me too kwesi pa
hwe obi akosku lectures bi okra the course kra no ye no 7 years so ko boy no dey medicine akwa the 7 years we are akwa specialization e bi 2-3 years son we are sa koye a friend saying another bra omo bre masa. Because every time there are new ideas and so you have to catch up and so on. Na busumi suna se ukukuru nia ikukuru she wo mun say ya na se ye ma ode a na se wara. Madam fu girl bia. Onu okoye planning e wo China Kwame. You planning China In fact, the course no cry in French. Hey, me say in French, in Chinese.
In Chinese.
So share Chinese language in answer. And we are in the planning. We have PhD in planning. Kwabi. About better Ghana and female no need money.
With a PhD in planning.
With a PhD in planning and female no need money. We are making crank for me American some Masa. Kakra Konya as lecturer in one of the universities. Kwame Dawo didn't pay slip for Cherry before. Kwame.
Crazy.
Me come papa na. A dog didn't pay slip. I'm saying, ready now, say anything.
It comes down.
Wako university first degree, wako second degree, wako a PhD. Yeah, found se kotre and Crawford there. I could try a demand. Me person make a could you must do 4,000. Initial pay do 4,000. That's why a PhD holder and a lecturer in a university. Even a kwami jan kana 7. And then electricity, sky did my lecture so for electricity 15 cities. Now 15 cities they are the top both road to Bosom. Both road to Bosom. But that's the reality.
Yeah, some
it's almost can maintain a super. Now as someone nan can person me kana mean to me can the year. Maminka.
Wampa can no.
Kwame.
Crazy.
Hey na ti omemuha. Hey na ni wa krasi. Obi di people teacher o. We di people teacher. Ebia ono secondary school to Kokrokoo here and so on. Na okodom amani.
Peace FM.
Kodom NPP and as well kodom NDC. Ewe krasi. Pinten kakra SEO. Ono na okoye MP. Ya oko contest MP. Master pinten krasi people teacher. Na ato abama no be MP.
Odem.
Immediately the lifestyle be sacra. Not because he or she is contributing more to national development than the doctor or the nurse or the university lecturer. But wait your contribution to national development lopsided. Or no, I said or no I draw a manual quo ya manual 70. After 4 years winning ex gratia awards. Or taking 71 office holders. The 3 year betting no contribute more than 60%. Obia or the school no real last more no difference no public service no be 4% salary increment. This is our reality. Now me President Kufuor Breso, ever see President Mills Breso. And when we go a single spine salary structure and buy, I mean, you say it will streamline and rationalize public sector pay.
Yeah.
Kwabi, yeah, no one didn't come on ahead here. I could see yes, you can Gumusa, and no, it led to dislocations in the economy. Yes, we have to go back to the drawing board all over again. There is something fundamentally wrong with our reward system. I say traho na ifeni. Na yeni anum lectures. We must some yede. Obi eni obeti aka so must some yede. We must some yede. Na mum enye no kwa na di adwuma. We must some yede de. Now so strike kosua the Ekwakobanis academic year will be disrupted. The disruption of the academic year comes with cost. It is kind of the situation is going to get worse. Yeah. And Sanoma I see a factor. Now, some no Nikasia Pajana and Penny for Sanya, Ombefa, any admire for Akasa. So, say, Akasa Matisa doctors, so I said, Oma warning short. So
I'm on my warning shot. I'm not saying 15th October.
Doctors are my warning shot.
But a long warning shot.
Warning shot.
Yes, one on them.
Here, apart from university lectures, teachers no so start kasakasa boabo pejaba. Masa, Hall of Trade Unions. My coffee hold and saying kakra me titi some pejaba. Ye heard you. Na the pejaba na yes son time. And the best way of dealing with this situation is leadership. Kwame.
Yeah.
Leadership by example. And I'm able.
Yeah.
You put on tighten your belt. So you're penny for no better tighten your belt. First of all, when you show a woman can say trouser no shadow belt holes was so. That's what people belt holes, you know, a big woman tied the so. Now so be cut tighten your belt. Now what tied now shadow belt holes to create me so dia. Why not do what's the bedroom? Into leadership by example. The sacrifice should start from the top. Now the sacrifice no chassis fish so hard. Yanum so ye shen fifini yanuma ye what down below no. We will follow that cue. Now the kobansa so only the master who any sign of sacrifice. Now mo de debia abin wo here no mu dia. And you be having. And social media na me course will be. Me sure say as well me kwa maybe I was work. Now Obia said that track convoy of officials traveling around the country. Oh yeah, whole your mobile. Convoy back when no move to social media.
President convoy now.
Me person make it into those details.
So we need to know.
I want to deal with the issue rather than be that specific. 39 cars in one convoy. 39 cars in one convoy. Now say, driver around Ghana in a 39 car convoy. How do you call on people to tighten their belts? When it is necessary to tighten belts. In Kasa, it is not necessary to tighten belts.
It is.
It is absolutely necessary to tighten belts.
But who are who for tightening?
But who are who for belt tightening? No. Who will come for 39 cars? 39 cars. And ya cars in Kitwaso. Oh, it's a penny for no. And maybe a son, I said, almost see a dear kakra. And that is be a deal, Master. Don't drive around in 39 car convoy. I had mission heading. And this is a Pythagoras theorem. I can't say
Pythagoras theorem.
And this
but Kwesi,
common sense.
Good. Just to pick up on this car convoy idea. I never say up to now you ain't mean so sad.
Only
say me no ya kasa say me ache. From President Kufuor Abidune. I didn't know my penny to kwaya. Na DC Ejuma say MC, the police, we are not only in assassin, security, wannabes, party chairman, party dross holder. Why is that?
The BA he a chain convoy.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. We don't know Biancasa. The BA showcase official opulence
and insensitivity.
And insensitivity a chain convoy.
Peace FM.
Namasa suit on my penny one in the it doesn't strike them. And we know my penny didn't feel who cares? It doesn't. But convoy they feel it in your face. Now Kwame Mpacho P.
Media.
One for a crack Cape Coast Road is weekend pay. Time. Yeah. Hey, I crack Cape Coast to Quine. So, traffic about how in traffic kitwa. Hey, now you're brain. Now, for a crack Cape Coast to Quine so weekend. Every 5 minutes. Convoy every pound. Convoy 5 cars, 6 cars, and so on. Whining. They usually say convoy on the Accra Cape Coast Road every weekend. Obi had that convoy. And I wow. I dang. Bonnie Ben in Ghana for you. Enti empanifoɔ no yɛsrɛ mu Ghana nti mo aso nti yɛnyina nti mu emo bra ntu anamo bi ebe magana fo nya rehemu se ye mpanimfo no wotema na ye mpanimfo no bra manfo bra no omote na womu be lead by example, and one of the things to tackle is the menace of convoys. Dr.
Kobo, young point. Meanwhile, Openibia sending me a Kokrokoo banker economist, or say, no, you're junk lecturer. Na a particular allowance be was 20 cedis. You better cut their straight, but I'll say I was an adjunct lecturer in one of the public universities. My allowance for marking and grading the end of academic year examination in my subject of about 40 students was less than 20 cedis. Kokrokoo banker economist. Or send you with that banker economist. 20 Ghana. 20 Ghana, the same movie. Anyway, okay, boy.
General. Mami Dasi. First of all, no, I think it's good to. I know Zebia Sinaprat and Yemi Nodi Casa direct, but push me take on my former boss as Sebi. My engaging in the FN wholesale defense or justification. The American say, or no, Ankasa Sebi or call before the committee, no, or Ginema be to me. And I can say, so a new opportunity on ye Sanya Manubium. And I can say, Messi or Sre. But I get the impression that some people don't have time for Messi. But I respect those sentiments too, because in the democratic practice, you know, Obian any take on an issue. So
except to say, some Messi, no quite deserve some.
Mean cancer no deserve.
But for body or demo no deserve Messi.
Oh, Sinaprat, man, I make us say.
TV or demo no deserve.
Wow,
some Messi no, but civil police deserve be.
That's all. Mean can't say.
Minkas worker.
All right. And then I hear me take. And secondly, no, Charge General.
Charlotte says so no deserve some
Messi. Say, the entire me can say democratic experiment. Obia when the sentiment say. A particular sentiment say you don't deserve Messi. Can even be pushed to the extent of go after him,
kill him,
get him, take him to court. I don't have the power to stop it. But my say ni dimina. Ni ye chere say wajin funso atumu pe a o si minya second chance minya sa no chere say or bisa say ube show ni then Messi. That's the only way you can continue to be there, because waka say wajia atumu. But enun chere say obi so ana etu no deserve Messi. And that's like Dr. Kaya, no, I'm not for one saying say yem flouty sebi rules. Anything that me can be very important say when a friend falls, I don't laugh, but I learn, so that we are all better persons. Senior, one back, I did back to some say variants be eba. Now, it doesn't matter the variant that comes. Every vaccine has the potential to save you from the harshness of a variant. It is the degree na etimi vary. Ebia sebi, the level to which Pfizer may save you might not be the same as AstraZeneca. But there is a significant benefit you get. Now, variants, you know, variants be or to me cause severe illness. But whichever be the case, you know, Sebi, Maka say, in all this, you can't tell for sure. Nobody can tell how many cases you get this week.
Yeah.
Engage in an exercise, reduce your risk. Reduce, just say, the or chinebi assembly to cry a beba form. And so it's all about probabilities. Just put yourself in a lower risk. And now, senior Maka no, mami quickly and can say, and pass me throw tree crower, sikasem and koyi. Brat say, sikasem and koyi. Usha Sebio, it said, yeah, hurricane. Just say, wind, Kasebi, a cosu village, be, grassy be. I will be a fear bubu. I said, be a bubu ninti. Sebi, ebi a better cry di. O kai se ebi a o better di ya. O ya korana o bisa o mami questions a. Ebi ana wa kai on say sebi we nyam compound pe. But community ni nyina no obi a ye bibi obetumi na shelter no was a replace and now restore. And COVID the very difficult situations about you see. And although sebi o minim say aban we na kufa do aban abon ho modian tutu nyama before COVID no. because of the Nkrofobia community, I am careful not to appear to speak so much about San Yamana Mihunu say very, very significant. But still, no, the American say, oh, you're a teacher, now for close to 8 months, one classroom. Now still every month, 2 bank use car. Kai say, Sebi, you're normal. Say, wow, you say, what's in the now so Aban say, Jiwa Kutua. And no Kai will say, we are not in normal times. And this Abano said, who say, Chon say, ni sika sem, asemu bahu, the FN deficit. Deficit, say, what discount only be? Unsa Aban sika, where dia no ni no ekosura. Where teacher no pe, me enye wama bebre. Because now it's in a fear, TV. Now so you tuauka. Ebia, Anka Aban did the FN strict fiscal consolidation. Say, opeson tutu the name year. 1 year Juman into Obeka said, Miss Umenya Day, mean tuauka. But ebia one tuauka no, time and Yamabe kama. Obeka say, Fem Mabe tuauka, now only yasi. Ubipin don't want to talk into a free. That's why government said, we know how to restore, try and bring the economy back. Back to say inflation equal to maybe at 12 no, yet back to single digit. Back to say growth equal from 2020 to about 0.4 no, yeah man who saw about 3.1 send as say the first quarter. Back to say exchange rate ebia asem to no yet back. But obi away free no who go fa no here ba. So times are you no times are nipa all running catering services and ye ba or no all my orders what hold. And now me say Dr. Koba me aware say sebi enye Kufa do fort nanso nhyehyɛ a ɛde aba sɛ ɛmbɔ nipa ho banti reception yɛsi atwam nti saa nipa no wokɔ ne fie a sebi nkɔmɔ no nti sɛ first nti wo count nyama sɛ yɛabɔmɔde wodu ne fie a na wama voice ayɛ den aba fam. So it's a very sensitive area, but wohwɛ nyama ɔmo nyina nkurɔfo IMF World Bank ɔmo hwɛ economy atutu ɔmo ka sɛ Ghana is on a recovery path. Nyama confirm because of COVID. Nanso nyankopa adom ye basu kakaka na chairman general maka we no mami can quickly say misu mijitum ye ka say individual responsibility enu nkyerɛ sɛ aban koda sebio aban ka sɛ she mask aban ka sɛ onyaya menhia wo indoors odi obi ko hia wo joint bi na mo ko indoors a yetimi fa police ntwum ka sɛ pie na wasum ye tudodo enti ebi aye duru no sen hye no bema anya ho faso ana ye ho bechie no bebre gina wo so enti enu de mepa cho obitimi ka se o na do okọ iye no se iye no ko no mu dos na onu de no ye na sebi sa na ma bia koso a etimi de obi ko ahokire mu enti wo so be ko ahokire mu ana mepa cho your life is in your hands largely, although government will try to save or protect it. Now enu very important and senior plat can be say oh panic ye kasana I said ye panic ni mo why am panic nko tell you now panic crisis communication you have to be very careful. In fact who catch you be say be cautious. It's the same as my brother put yourself in order because one show ye now ma panic no mu ko head ya nipa no onya code block nose pe wasa line e hospital. No more manya block nose wa crash. Chama no almost 30 present here never hospital. The one shabe say stadium. Say the mean kind of now. Sometimes your behavior in a panic situation is what causes the trouble, not the situation itself. Enti enye say mpese be kan kware. Me by me can say there are 6,000 plus active cases. And when I'm catch just I didn't go through. But me by council say yeah obi ewu enti sebi o ko adwuma kra san una kofie. That is not also proper communication. Enti sinaprat we know it's a difficult one, but the point I want to make is that panic can make people lose lives and put themselves in trouble. We will give them adequate information. Many of these also flu biaba I say unhu ni yie one sha say o the panic akwa sa ni panic wanya flu we obewu kra before e better
measured panic.
Okay, all right.
Measured panic.
Yo, senior.
Not reckless panic.
Okay.
Yeah, some way creating pressure said the problem is over.
No, I've not done that.
I know the
oh, senior, nobody. In fact, yeah, Kaoshe Dr. Kuma Bwaji or more manage situation yeah, bar. We don't try to behave like it's not dangerous.
But Doc, our brand to be a friend is Sanjay. Emerson no say having a vaccine is like wearing a seat belt. it doesn't mean you won't get an accident, but it just might save your life.
Absolutely. Sanjay,
good morning.
Yes, Maka Weno.
Yeah,
Pon. Mami can quickly say, and no youth world youth day no.
Yeah.
Meka say as youth no, there are 3 things me touch on. They are buying better me abua youth. They are youth. Yes, you better me abua ye. And I tell you no.
You may have to do it all in 2 minutes.
Oh, okay, Chawa. Oh,
me time aso.
Chawa.
Me time aso.
The Meka say. And then youth no. Abayin sebi we share through factory
Peace FM.
Say Kasapreko eba watano so starch factory and sui ewo prank eba sui rice factory was available opportunities opportunity na emba ofie you have to go out and grab it intimate say you to na yesu yema yenimbre na yenko out me can be as me USS me throw application to 10 pharmacy shops say me pese me ejuma pese me tenefie the 10th one was akomo na ejimi me ejuma 2 years asa na me call tech you have to move and bibia unsabe kano the fact say oh yes sebi and now we technician and just say we as technician chairman general the fact say sebi oh yeah newscaster and just oh you can be the manager of the station very important and chairman general where are there damakuma so me be in kwara e street so sebi e doors these days Paloma ahaya me by in kwara me count about 15 palace me draw on nkoraba me kan ebi mu fair children want me say Sahelian region free outside chairman me iska eche me sadi to I want to give but if I give to the streets the kids omo di koma omo papa otine fie ana mama bi awakotete me pacho Ghana we can have a plan we can have a body and just say the abansika people can give like a charity na yenya a place a ye be settle in Korea way I resource your parents if they have to work. We can do it. I don't want to believe say we can do it. Everywhere you pass, kids are coming to your car. And like Jesus Christ can who is your neighbor? Chairman, me feel me didi. Me won't cry. They say come in. This the baby say have they bathed? Paloma. Omuting na yellow. There's a nutrition bad. At this stage and all here milk. Or here protein because the brain so you know go do 10-12 years who come man jollof rice o man be entimi CSA damage you know so chairman general where the me pacho is an appeal to all of us we need a body this body will be tasked with collaborating with Ministry of Gender with the municipal assemblies with regional coordinating council with national security with immigration with we in fact, we can get these children off the streets. Now the problem is, say, a child on the street today is a risk to all of us tomorrow. But we can turn the threats of tomorrow into opportunities. We must wake up and take this thing head on. This is God's business. A country has a soul, not only a body. The soul is reflected in what we do to reach out to those who are obviously and openly vulnerable. Chairman General, these kids cannot be sitting on the streets, coming to the cars. I have money. Chairman General, I want to give my money to rescue these children. We must have a place where we can go and present the money, not on the streets.
Dr. Bernardo Boyd, former Deputy Health Minister, former MP, Lejo Kuku, currently a champion of COVID. Okay, Michael. And then Dr. Smart Sapong, lecturer at Kumasi Technical University, or the Kratibi Ashaminsa Labor Market Entry Requirements in Ghana, an analysis of advertised job vacancies from January to December 2019. Dr. Smart Sapong made us here no pain. Kwesi Pratt. So training kwesi di obia enimnom. Na wa wuti teacher woni ene na asema ede. Ahaye.
Peace FM.
Peace FM 104.3. Good to meet you.
Check out time for the day and for the week. Anquanoma medin ho agba for yewie na watchi ba kwa betwem Miami dear Mimra Sum Mebeko. Happy birthday in advance to you, Yao Adomaku Befi Frimpong of the NPP. It's from Team Kokrokoo to you. Hey, me who na cho. Playing the song for you, Mr. Sami Ewuku, Director General of the National Lottery Authority. To you, Mr. Ken Impari. To you, Mr. Eric Kwachi, A.K. Mozo. To you, Mr. Kwabena Ej Ejepong. To you, Mr. E.T. Akuna. Wishing you guys a great weekend. Remember to keep your dreams and hopes alive. Remember to be of good cheer, because it shall never be so dark. The sun shall rise again. As you step out into the day, into the weekend, at any point in time, when you stop to say a prayer, remember to say one for me too. Medin de Kwame Sefakai. Medamasio. God bless. Good morning.